Linda Sampson is with me. Linda,
Hello.
happy day.
Thank you. You too.
Marijuana, you're in the pot business.
I am.
Yeah. Why are you in the pot business? What's going on?
Well, a couple of years ago, someone approached me and asked me if I wanted to head up a medical marijuana company. And at first, I was a little taken aback. But after thinking about it for a couple of weeks and some of the experience that I had observed in some of my own family members and friends who had used it for either pain management or IBS, I thought it might be an interesting market to get into.
So you did get into it, and you know what? Every time you pick up a newspaper or watch a television show, there's something about marijuana all of the time, and it certainly has changed. Public opinion has changed dramatically. When I was a kid, guys used to get 5 years in jail for smoking a joint, and today they're lining up to buy it from a machine or from a real person, and it's a pretty interesting industry. Big money, I understand.
It is a huge market. It's very exciting because it's been so hidden and so black market, I guess. And now it's literally coming to the front. And if you look at maps of where it's legal and where it's legal medically and recreationally, it's like a little fire that's starting, and I'm sure it's going to spread.
Well, it's
everywhere.
compared a lot to the .com thing that went on in the 1990s, and I suppose that's pretty accurate. I mean, every day you hear about it, you read about it, and it's boomity boom boom, and people are making money. Companies are getting bigger and going public, and I understand you're public also.
Yes, we are. I think it's a great opportunity. A lot of people want to participate in this, but maybe they don't have the ability to set up their own company or be a part of a big company. But we are a publicly traded company in Canada, the United States, and in Frankfurt.
In Germany, and I like your stock symbol in the U.S. It makes me laugh. I remember it easily because it's MRPHF, which sounds so cumbersome, and I think Mr. Phone Frank. Hey, just saying. In any event, people can participate if they wish, and of course, you use the money to grow and literally to grow marijuana, but also to grow the business. I understand you're in Nevada.
Yes, we are. We've purchased 5.9 acres in Apex Industrial Park, which is North Las Vegas. And we're about to begin construction. We're just waiting for the permit approval.
I couldn't get my head around this, everyone, with marijuana. I mean, I ain't a prude, but I've never smoked a joint in my life. When I was younger, I used to drink whiskey with both hands, so I mean, back to the not being a prude part. Hey, in any event, I had troubles with this, but as it turns out, Linda and I have a mutual friend that we know, and his name is Bob. And Bob was 79 years old, and he had pancreatic cancer, and it's an interesting story, and he couldn't even wear blue jeans any longer. He was dressing like Hugh Hefner. He had a long jacket on, or a house coat, I guess, because he couldn't tighten up the belt. He had so much pain, and the doctor said you have probably 2 months, maybe 3 if you're lucky. And Linda got him on pot. It was oil. So, and he too had a hard time with it. He made me laugh because he was a former alcoholic, hadn't drank for many years, and I said, you should take this oil that Linda's recommending. He said, but it's addictive, isn't it? And I said, Bobby, you've only got a month to live, so what does it matter? In any event, he started taking the oil, and you can explain to everybody what that is, but just before you do, my understanding is he puts a toothpick in the oil, puts it inside of his cheek 4 times a day, and that was about a year and a half ago. And he's now wearing blue jeans, and he's golfing again. He's doing all kinds of neat things. He's got his life back, and he says, "I'll live till I die." And so that, just because I know him, I'm talking too much here. It's your turn in a second, but it just amazes me because it made a believer out of me. It's like watching a television show when the preacher touches a guy's head and he throws the crutches away and starts to jog. You don't believe it, right? Because it ain't true, probably. This is true because I know him. I mean, so tell me about these little drops, the oil stuff. What is that?
So the oil is made up basically from either the whole plant or the flowers of the plant. The one that's made up from just flowers is more potent. And then, of course, when you add all the leaves, they've got less potency. So what they do is they reduce the oil under heat to, it's almost like a sticky tar, basically.
Well, it looks like it. Like, has my friend been high for the last year and a half?
Well, he says not. I mean, you know, the difficult thing is that there is definitely some evidence that this cures some illnesses, and it definitely...
Cure? I thought it was just for the pain.
No, there's definitely...
Well, obviously there's a cure because he's still around.
Exactly.
Or a deferral at least. But do you think it actually crumbles...
Well, in his
Whatever it
case,
is.
he had a tumor
Yeah.
that was growing rapidly, and it absolutely harnessed the growth. And there has been no further growth in his pancreatic tumor. He's had some other issues, but
But he says, using him as an example still, he says he's never felt the experience to go with being drunk or high or something like that. So something must not be in the oil that's in a joint.
well, you can get oils that have lower THC. There are two components to the marijuana sort of essence, I guess, if you want to make it simple. And the one is the THC, and the other one is CBD. They both have sort of qualities that are useful if you're
None of
already
those, all those letters, there's no BS in any of that?
The THC is the component that gives you this psychotropic feeling of being high. And he did experience that a little bit. The first night he tried it.
He took too much, is
He
my
took
understanding.
too much, yeah.
So if you
and-
follow the rules, you should be okay.
Yeah.
Like he also told me, if you told us, I guess, that he went to the doctor and he said, I won't recommend that because it's no good for you. And he went and did it anyway somehow, and he ended up doing it legally. But the doctor said, you're too far gone to even have chemo. And now they want to do chemo on him. And he said, I never want to talk to a doctor again.
Yeah.
I'm just happy using my little
Yeah.
toothpick. I'll live till I die.
Yeah, I think we've got to caution. There's definitely healing qualities in this plant. And it's very interesting. Each of us has an endocannabinoid system that feeds our whole body.
Me too.
You too.
Okay.
That feeds right to every cell and every organ. And the essence of this plant gets the molecules go into these endocannabinoid receptors, and it's one of the only molecules that fits into that receptor, and it gets delivered to every part of your body. So people mock it and say, oh, this is the new cure-all, heal-all, but there's definitely healing qualities to it, but we don't know exactly what components are best suited to what illnesses. They're different cannabinoids.
How did this come back to be mainstream? Like for many years it was around, and you could buy pot in drugstores back in the 1910s, 20s, and so on, and then it disappeared, and a lot of people say Big Pharma did that because, we need to not compete with you, and now it's back. What do you contribute that to?
I definitely think it's the internet. I think
More knowledge?
Yes, definitely. It's sort of like watching theater. The curtains are open, but the lights are off, and stuff is going on the stage. And as knowledge is shared on the internet, and people are sort of describing the results and the processes they've gone through, it's making the knowledge more available, and so people are trying it. So it's becoming a bit of a movement, and I really attribute that to the internet.
Oh, that's interesting, and I do get that because that's all the chat these days. Everyone's talking about it, and then of course you get back over to the business side, and people are talking about that as well. I mean, companies that are going public and raising money to go out and build facilities and grow this plant and act accordingly. So, at Marifarm, tell me about Marifarm. You're in Vegas, and I understand you're going to other places as well.
Yeah, our goal is to create a good, strong business that's a leader in this industry. It's sort of like being on the edge of the wave as it comes in. And we're looking at Nevada. We're definitely in Nevada. We're looking at Colorado and Washington as well. And we also have an application in with Health Canada in British Columbia.
Oh, that's interesting. So the pot business is a big business, and so many people, Canada included, are talking about legalizing it or making it recreational, federally or nationally. So if that comes, of course, that just continues with the boom. So I wish you luck. I mean, that's a neat name too. Marifarm. Mara is in marijuana and farm is in pharmacy. How do the pharmacy people like you? Probably not so much.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Okay. See you. And hey, do you feel wiser now? The country's going to pot. Be part of it. Hey, see ya.